Hello and welcome everybody. Looks like we are live. Let me check and make sure we're good to go here. I've got the chat over here on this side of me, so if you see me looking over here, that is what's going on. But welcome. I'm really excited to be here with you today, just chatting about really important stuff. Big changes that are happening in freelance writing right now that have been kind of brewing for the last couple of years, but are really at this pivotal point right now. So if you have any questions as we go through today, feel free to pop them down below in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you can comment any questions. But today, we're going to talk about the state of freelance writing this year, what things are going to be like this year. 5 big changes happening right now. And then at the end, I'm going to walk you through the steps you need to know to adapt in a 2026 market. And by the way, so grateful you're joining me, whether you are here live. By the way, if you are, feel free to pop in the chat and say hi and let me know where you're tuning in from. Or if you are watching the replay, that is awesome. So again, if you have any questions as we go, pop them in the chat and we will do a Q&A at the end. Poncho and the Mule saying, hi about KCE. That's so awesome. I'm so excited to see it in there. I haven't started it yet, but I want to learn more about the industry for 2026. It's going to be the perfect fit for you. It is updated for today's market and you're going to get Jorden AI with it. So you're going to be all set and good to go. So just something to think about before we start. I would love to hear why everyone here really wants to make an income freelance writing. Like, why are you here? Is there something specific you're looking to learn about today? Do you have a motivator that's pushing you to start freelance writing or maybe pivot or evolve your freelance writing business in 2026? Let me know why you're here, because then I can kind of tailor the information I'm giving you to what everybody is looking for. So you can have that in your mind, or you can comment it in the chat below. Sandra says, greetings from South Africa. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. And tuning in from Anchorage, Alaska. Very cool. I'm in a northern U.S. state as well. I'm up here in Oregon, not too far from Portland. So we got that nice, cold, foggy winter vibe going on right now. So before we start, real quick, I got to let you know this, and I'm not going to make this like a long drawn out thing, but I do want to at least let you know Killer Cold Emailing 2.0, the fully updated version, is open right now for a special New Year's flash sale for the next few days only. It's going to be a blink and you miss it type of thing where I don't want you to miss it, because if the weekend gets away from you and then you're like, oh no, I'm going to miss it, I don't want you to let that happen. So make sure you get in today if you want the best offer, because this is the best offer ever. And I don't say that lightly, because in addition to the program and all the pre-built resources, which you can see at the sales page if you want, it's in the description box, you get $100 off today with the code New Year. You get my brand new bonus. This is like the greatest thing ever. So if you have questions about it, let me know. It is Jorden AI. So I built this custom GPT that I programmed to coach you as me. So if you can kind of imagine having me in your pocket to ask me your questions about freelance writing 24/7, that's kind of what this is. It's not generic chat GPT advice, because I think we figured out by now that is not getting us where we want to be, right? It's not really good at that sort of thing. This is actually programmed to act as me. I put my own business decision logic in there and all of my sort of freelance writing business killer cold emailing brain. So this is probably going to be a paid upgrade later. Now's the best time to get in. Here's what it looks like. You can see it can help you literally define your niche in seconds, tell you who to pitch, review your cold emails for you. It can write your writer website copy for you. Oh my gosh, it can literally collapse the time it takes for you to do this from weeks or months to seconds or minutes. It's really good. So make sure, if you've been thinking about joining the program or you're interested in scaling your freelance writing business in 2026, to get in. The link is in the description box, so you can find that there, and then we'll share more about that at the end of the training. But don't wait to join, because this is going to end on Monday, and it is the best offer. So let's talk about what has changed in freelance writing, and then we're going to cover the steps you need to know to evolve for a 2026 market. And I'm going to check the chat real quick. Poncho says, I want to make a living writing part-time because I have over 90K in student loans I need to pay off. Yes, let's get those paid off. Let's get those paid off. And I've wanted a career as a writer since I was like 5. I'm so glad you're in the program then, because it is kind of like I was saying, that program and everything inside is how you can collapse the time it takes to do this from months to years to minutes, hours, days. It's going to be so, so helpful. Artist Cafe, hello, says, I'm Jess from upstate New York. I'm a freelance writer who teaches writing classes. Very cool. Writes blogs and other materials. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Jess. Breezy says hi from Kingston, Jamaica. Hello, right back at you. And Jim is here, who says, I'm looking to supplement retirement, deciding whether to niche by type of writing, like blogs, or industry. I have 30 years of experience in food, restaurants, and sales. Jim, you are in such a good position to do this. If you know anything about sales, you're already way ahead of the game. I'm going to let you know the short answer here is you want to do both, type of writing and industry. But if you stay till the end and do the Q&A with me, we can dive a little bit deeper into your niche and what you're thinking, Jim. So feel free to let me know your questions at the end during the Q&A, specifically about the niche you're considering. Breezy says, I had to get a 9-to-5 retail job to make ends meet when my self-employed job took a hit. I really want to quit, so I need another revenue stream, and working from my laptop would be great. Yes, love that. That is what we're looking to create here, because frankly, let's be really blunt here, okay? The job market right now with full-time traditional jobs is simply not it. So many people, and it's genuinely so heartbreaking to see, are getting laid off, struggling to find full-time jobs, and we have pivoted into this new world of work where we can no longer rely on one traditional employer to give us financial security. It's so interesting how the market has changed. Tell me if you guys have noticed this as well, because I've seen it in a massive way, right? It used to be this kind of thing where people thought business ownership or freelancing was the risky move, but now what's really risky is putting all your eggs in that one basket of an employer who could literally fire you, lay you off, get rid of you at any time, and they don't even think twice about it. It's so messed up. It's a big, big part of the reason why I do what I do, is to get you out of that situation and give you some control over your financial security far into the future. So let's get into the changes that are happening. And again, we'll do a Q&A at the end. So if you have questions that come up as we go, or comments or things that you're curious about, definitely pop them in the chat. So change number 1. So happy about this. The AI slop era is dead. It's coming to an end. And blogging is so back. Right when AI came out, there was this big shift where it was like suddenly content and blogging and all that stuff was just being replaced by AI, because people thought, businesses, your potential clients thought, we can just replace our writers. But they've kind of screwed themselves over with that line of thought, right? Because now they're seeing, okay, that didn't work for me. My business did not get good results from that. So it's time to go back to hiring writers who can actually help me get those results. So this is great news, because it means high-paying clients are no longer just going, screw hiring a writer, I'll just do it with AI. And instead, they're prioritizing quality human-written content or AI-assisted writing, which often means you take AI writing and you edit it, or you use AI to collapse the time it takes for you to create a project or do a writing job or whatever. So this is really, really exciting. Really, really exciting. Let's look at some recent statistics. By the way, I've got a lot of data and statistics to back up everything I'm saying here. And I also want you to know, in case any of you are new to me, I've been doing this for 10 years. I have that much freelancing experience, and I've been coaching writers for that long. So this is based on stuff I'm seeing go on behind the scenes in this industry. Other than that, we got some stats though. Only 3% of marketers rely on AI for full articles, meaning most companies still want humans for quality, whether that is just writing or it is editing AI content. Oh my gosh, if you are a blog post writer, there are so many opportunities out here for you. And human editors still revise AI generated content in 93% of cases. That's almost all of them. That's almost all the cases, right? So this just shows that AI alone is not cutting it. Side note, because of this, AI blog post editing is a huge exploding niche right now. So how exciting is this, right? Clients are finally seeing the AI slop is not working, so they're coming back to us writers for their blog posts. Amazing. Albert is here, says hello. Hello, Albert. June from Kenya, welcome. Jess says, I definitely noticed this. It's getting more and more brutal in corporate America. A traditional job can be pulled out from under you in a second. Yes. It just makes me so angry and sad and frustrated. And again, it's really a big part of the reason why I do what I do. I don't want anyone to be relying on a single employer, whether they choose to learn from me or do freelancing or do something else. Like, please don't put all your eggs in an unstable basket of traditional employment in 2026, because that is just not it. Russell is here. Hello, Russell. Welcome. And Albert, yes, is talking about the layoffs. Over 1 million reported. Exactly. The good news about that, though, is that, and I'll talk about this here shortly, these companies still need writers, right? They are laying people off, but the work doesn't disappear. And what is happening so often that I'm seeing in my colleagues, things that I've seen happening, is that they are choosing freelancers instead. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself though, so we'll talk about that in a second. But back to this really exciting blogging change, right? This is such a big deal. And I want you to know, if you already write blog posts or you want to, you don't need to overhaul your niche completely for a 2026 market. But you must know this. You must know this. Basic SEO blogging and content writing are not going to cut it as your niche anymore. So if I go to your writer website and the top of it says something like, I'm an SEO content writer for hire, or your LinkedIn bio says, I'm an SEO content writer, you are going to struggle to find work in today's market because these are dead niches. So there are some nuances to think about here, right? Because it doesn't mean that blogging and doing SEO in your blog post service is a dead niche. That is definitely not what I'm saying. But when you define yourself with a term like SEO articles or SEO content writer, it sends a signal to a client's mind that what you're offering is sort of that fluffy SEO content blogs that people, used to do for like $5 and $10 on Fiverr several years ago. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have questions about this, because it is a really, really important thing. Resonance 8941 says time to differentiate. 100%. And we're going to actually talk about how to do that a little bit later too. So again, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but you are so spot on with that. It's time to differentiate, not only in your niche, but in the way you are marketing yourself online. So you have got to evolve how you are offering and positioning your service for today's market. Whether you're just starting out and you're picking something, or you're like, man, I have been doing SEO content and I noticed that fell off in 2023 and I have got to pivot. Whatever the case is, you've got to evolve for today. Holland, I'm not sure how to say that, but is it available to existing people in Killer Cold Emailing? Yes, it is. We're working on rolling that out to everyone who is already in the program. So you will have that very, very soon. Very excited to add that in for you guys. Pro tip here, editing AI blog post, AIO blogging, which is basically like SEO, but to help your clients get found by AI, and thought leader interview blog posts are all huge right now. Huge. So we can think about this and we can go, why is that? Because we are pivoting and evolving and adapting our service to something that AI simply cannot do. AI cannot edit an AI blog post, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. AI cannot interview thought leaders and turn that into a blog post. And by the way, these thought leadership blog posts, people charge $800 to $1,000 for these. So I'm just giving you some inside intel here and advice on what I would be doing if I were a blog post writer in a 2026 market. And by the way, Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 plus Jorden AI, which you get when you join before Monday, is literally built to walk you through this evolution and adapting and creating this path to financial freedom as a writer, step by step. In this, you learn exactly how to and how not to market your niche, any niche you choose, and you don't have to be an advanced expert to do this. And you'll learn how to evolve to AI-proof your copywriting niche or whatever your niche is for a 2026 market in my new lesson, How to AI-proof and recession-proof your niche. It is a really eye-opening lesson about how we evolved to offer something that is irreplaceable by AI and also in high demand and high paying in a 2026 market. So it's really, really good stuff. Albert is saying, I'm almost tempted to take my freelance seminar and find a way to go on the road. I'm feeling there may be a very receptive audience of underemployed people out there. Yes, I think so many people need to hear about this opportunity happening with freelancing right now. There's actually a lot of data showing that copywriting services are going to explode, like in the next several years, especially. Again, getting ahead of myself, but I'll get to that here shortly. So, this is a really important change to know about. This is going to be like a big game-changing kind of light bulb moment, especially for folks who are like, man, I was freelancing successfully, and then it just kind of fell off in 2023, 2024, 2025. There is a reason for that, if that is you, and I'm going to tell you why it happened. So, change number 2 is freelance writers are splitting into 2 groups, the evolvers and the non-evolvers. So those who evolve, specifically talking about doing what is relevant and what sells in today's market versus those who don't evolve. Because here's the thing, right? A lot of writers have asked me about saturation or like, is it still working? Like, can I still do this in 2026? Saturation isn't the problem. The industry, the economy, none of that is the problem, right? If you are not getting clients right now, it is because you have not evolved to create something that is in high demand in a 2026 market and not in competition with AI. So that is the problem, right? There are a lot of writers who have not evolved and are not treating their freelance writing business like a real business. And that is 100% necessary in 2026. I'm just being very blunt here because I want you to get like the straightforward information on what's happening. So I'm mostly talking here about writers offering SEO content, articles, the kind of cheap SEO pieces we used to see 5 and 10 years ago online. Long gone are the days where you could offer that and just throw up a basic one-pager portfolio or a list of samples or a Fiverr profile and offer something like SEO content or articles and get paid for it. Because, and I want you to take a special note of this underlined thing here in the middle, clients don't have demand or budget for these things anymore. Demand and budget are 2 things you always got to think about when you're picking your niche. By the way, Jorden AI will take care of all of that for you. So you don't even have to, you like barely have to use your brain to come up with this stuff if you get in and get Jorden AI, because it will literally just like immediately give you instant output on your niche idea and the demand and budget and which clients to pitch. So that is a key point. Demand and budget, because they can get AI or a $5 Fiverr writer to do this SEO article or whatever. So that's what they're going to do, which is why if that was you and you did not evolve, you've probably seen a massive drop off in clients. The key theme here that we're going to keep touching on is evolution. Just like Resonance 8941 said here, differentiation is a part of that. It's evolution when it comes to your niche, your writer website, and the way you're marketing yourself and the service you're offering. So let's talk about these 2 groups a little bit more. I'm calling this strugglers versus evolvers. These are the 2 groups freelance writers are splitting into, and the group you're in completely dictates whether or not you succeed in a 2026 market. So group 1, the strugglers. In this group, we have writers who have not evolved for today's market and are still competing with AI for pennies per word. Usually, again, this entails writing articles or content or SEO blogs, right? They're still marketing themselves as generalists, or maybe they're still forcing a dead niche to work, a niche that was doing well in 2018 or 2020 or 2022, but is not doing well in today's market, okay? They haven't evolved to do that. Not choosing an AI-proof niche, choosing target clients with guesswork rather than intentionally targeting clients who have a budget and demand for what they do, relying on race to the bottom platforms and using an outdated portfolio method instead of a writer website with conversion copy on it. So if you see yourself in these, or you're like, I think I might fall into that group, that's a sign it's time to evolve, because group 2 here is the evolvers and folks who have evolved for a recent market, right? 2025, 2026. They're not stuck in 3 to 5 plus years ago. What are these evolvers doing differently to get clients in today's market? Well, they position themselves as a professional business owner, not a writer looking for a job. Two very different things here, right? We got to go into this with a business owner mindset, because your mindset literally dictates everything you do. Business owner mindset will have you investing in yourself and setting up a website in a really professional way, and you're going to get results from that, right? They've updated their niche for a modern market, an AI-proof, recession-proof niche. We're talking about the economy here, right? We've had some comments on that. Yes, it is a thing that is happening right now. And what you do to overcome that issue is you stop targeting clients who don't have a budget and demand for what you do. You go up market and you target clients who have the budget and demand, because these big corporations are just hemorrhaging money, right? They have money to spend on a writer like you. But if you are targeting companies who don't have money to spend on writers, then you're going to have a hard time. Anytime we're in a recession, there's an economic downturn, you want to go up market and target clients who have, again, budget and demand. And that's the next bullet point here. Target clients who have a high demand and a high budget for your specific service. Very, very crucial thing here. And again, Jorden AI can literally take care of this for you. You can go from no niche or being unsure about your niche to a highly profitable niche where you know exactly who to target in a matter of literal seconds. I mean, as fast as you can type your question into AI and give it your information, right? So really helpful resource. Definitely enroll in Killer Cold Emailing at the link in the description if you're interested. What else are evolvers doing? They're treating freelance writing like a real business, not like a little side hobby, not like something they're just trying out. If you're just trying it out with guesswork, you are going to have a hard time, versus folks who are treating it like a real business and going, this is my business. This is not a little side thing. It is a business. Albert says, I agree, you cannot freelance and work with an employee's mindset 100%. 100%. It's a big shift. It is a basic metamorphosis anyone needs to make to be a freelance writer. I couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely correct, Albert. So the next point here is they've created a client converter website. I'll explain this a little bit more later, but what we want to do in today's market is not use our website to tell, but to sell. So there's a difference between telling, oh, I'm Jorden and I live in this city and I love writing and all this other stuff, right? We're not doing that in 2026 market because it doesn't work. Your writer website should be more like a sales page than a portfolio, right? More like a sales or landing page. It is there to do one thing: convert the clients you're cold emailing. That is it. It is set up strategically and specifically to sell and convert. So if you're not sure if your website is set up to do that, you get this inside of Killer Cold Emailing. It's done for you. The website is literally pre-built. It's a one-click install or a zip file you can drop in. And Jorden AI can literally write your website copy for you. It does not get much easier than that. Okay, so definitely something to consider if you want to collapse the time it takes for you to learn how to do this and start getting clients. So you may have seen a lot of panicking and assumptions and all this kind of chaotic stuff being talked about online. But I want you to really know that this is coming from writers who have not evolved for a modern market. They're not doing these things. They have not evolved. They're still using outdated strategies like a basic portfolio, specializing in dead niches like SEO content or basic SEO blogs. Ask anyone who's saying this kind of stuff, and you're going to see that either their marketing is off or they are specializing in a dead niche that is not up to date. And the gap between these two groups is getting wider fast, right? We've got the strugglers and the evolvers over here, and the gap is just going to keep getting wider, which is so important. Why it's so important to start now and learn how to not just do this, but actually do it right. And here's the important part, highlighted in blue, because I really want you to hear this. If you have any limiting beliefs around, oh, I'm new, or I don't think I'm ready, or I'm scared to pivot, I really want you to hear this because it will help. Your ability to be in group 2, the evolvers, has nothing to do with how long you've been writing or how much experience you have. It has nothing to do with years of experience. Here's the proof. Some people I know have been freelancing for years, 5 to 10 years, and they are still in the strugglers group. They are struggling to make 1K, 3K, anything every month. A lot of these are writers whose income tanked when the economy changed, when AI came onto the scene. And again, I'm being a bit redundant here because it's really important. This happened for one reason. They did not evolve their niche and marketing strategy to take into account the economy/recession that, is being said we're not in one, but we all know that we're in one, right? And AI coming onto the scene. So, on the other hand, some people I know are totally new to freelance writing as far as after this change happened, right? After the economy and AI brought us all these shifts, and they are already boldly positioning themselves as pros and getting clients like crazy as a result. Like one writer I know who started as a beginner copywriter post AI during this economic climate and now makes 10K months. Okay, so I really want you to hear me when I say it's not about experience level. If that is a belief that you have, I hear you. I understand you because it's a belief I had for a long time as well. But this is what is actually happening behind the scenes. We've got to neutralize the conversation around this and just look at the data. We've got to look at the data and go, why is this actually happening? Very, very important because clients don't actually hire you based on experience level. They're hiring you, and this is highlighted in this lovely light blue because it's important, because your marketing presents you as trustworthy. That's the first thing. And because they have a demand and budget for the service you offer. That's it. Your marketing is on point and you're offering a service to a client that has the demand and the budget for what you are offering. If you do this, you're going to be all set. You're going to get clients. You're going to be good to go. Poncho says, does it matter what we use for the website? Like if we use Wix or Squarespace? So the drop-in one-click install website is a Wix template just because it is so easy to use. Wix is literally drag and drop. I mean, it's about as simple to use as like Canva, right? It's so easy. But you are also more than welcome to use Squarespace if you want. In that case, you would look at the images of the template inside of the course and just recreate it in Squarespace if that's what you're more comfortable with. But either one. Good simple point. Sell, not tell. Yes, Albert, 100%. So in 2026, clients are not asking, how long have you been writing for? I've hired, I want to name too, that I've hired a lot of freelancers before for a lot of different things. I've never asked anyone how long they've been doing this. All I'm thinking is, does your marketing make me trust that you understand my business? And have you evolved to offer something I have a high demand for? That's it. And again, Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 helps you do all this with all the shortcuts you need. So if your website, pitches, and emails still sound like, I'm a freelance writer who can help with all kinds of content, being very blunt here, again, just because I really want to help, you are going to be replaced by AI and some guy on Fiverr who is going to do this for $5. We've got to up-level our marketing in a 2026 market because, like I said, we're going for clients who have budget and demand for what we do. These are good, high-paying clients who will give you work every week or every month. But to get those, you have to have a real business. High-paying clients are not going to look at a generalist portfolio that is kind of low effort or outdated and go, oh, I want to hire this person. That is why you can see all these things kind of working together. And the whole purpose here is so that we can win these clients who have a budget and demand for what we do. So, a note here, a lot of writers, actually, both beginners and people who have some experience but haven't yet evolved, meaning maybe you've been freelance writing for years, I don't know how many years, 1 to 5 years, but you're not where you want to be income-wise, you get stuck. You might be having one of these 3 thoughts. I need to be more experienced before I evolve my niche or offer this new service. I need to be more advanced, or I need to wait until I'm ready. Again, these are kind of some of those limiting beliefs that can pop up for us, right? But I want you to know that there is really no such thing as ready, okay? What I want to encourage you to do in today's market is simply decide to pivot and market yourself in this way before it feels comfortable. Before it feels comfortable. And it will feel uncomfortable. I can pretty much promise you that, right? Anytime we do something new, our brain automatically creates resistance and fear and overwhelm and all this stuff. I want to encourage you to do it anyway. Go in tolerable steps that work for you, right? But do it anyway. This is having the audacity to act. As business owners, which is what you're going to be if you're doing this in today's market, we cannot wait to feel perfectly ready for change. We've got to change quickly and trust ourselves to figure it out and up-level as we go, or else we risk getting left behind and missing out on an opportunity to get ahead of the curve. So this is the thing, really, when it comes down to it, that separates the 2 groups of freelance writers in 2026, strugglers versus evolvers. It all comes down to that willingness to evolve, even when it feels scary, even when the newness and the change brings up so much fear and overwhelm and resistance. We feel the fear and we move in tolerable steps toward our goal, ideally with a proven plan and process from someone that we trust who has already done the thing we want to do. So if you're in the, I want to do this or I want to evolve, but I don't know how, that's literally why I put basically my business brain inside of Jorden AI. It is a custom GPT, again, that is basically like having access to me. Everything I know about freelance writing in the context of cold emailing, writer website, niche, target clients, evolution. It's like having me there, just, a few bits of typing away, basically. So you don't have to waste months or years trying to figure out alone. You can get instant answers from Jorden AI instead. Something interesting about this, I keep talking about collapsing the time it takes for you to get from point A to point B, where you are now, your current income level and freelance writing business, to the business you want, where you're making those 6K, 8K, 10K months. The way you collapse that time is getting a proven plan to do it, okay? Not just doing guesswork or trying to spend months figure it out. You can turn those months and years into days and weeks if you have a proven process, and certainly if you have a custom AI tool like Jorden AI to give you all the answers. So great resource. Again, that is disappearing on Monday. It's included with Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 right now, so you can check out the link in the description box to get in before that offer and the $100 off offer disappears. Jim says, what about a WordPress site? Yes, Jim. So if you are building on anything other than Wix, all you do when you join Killer Cold Emailing is you just look at the images of the template in there as well. So I have those 2 paths because in Killer Cold Emailing, I really make sure to offer a path for everyone, no matter what you want to do. Some of you will want to use Wix and just do the really easy one-click install, pop it in, boom, your site is launched in literally a minute or 5 minutes or whatever, But if you're comfortable with WordPress, there's also the images in there, and you just look at the images and recreate it exactly like that. And you get a copy template for your writer website. You can pop that into Jorden AI and have your website copy done for you in just minutes. I mean, there is no faster way. that I know of to do this. So it's really, really cool. Let's see. Yes, I've had to radically change my mindset and challenge myself in my own beliefs. 100%. This is something that I think is not talked about enough in the world of online business, which is that your business will force you to do personal development work. People pleasing with clients, that's going to cost you a lot of time, which costs you money. Employer mindset or employee mindset is going to cost you clients because you're going to be less confident. It really brings up the things we have to work through, like fear and resistance and all this different stuff. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So true. And it helps you grow in so many areas of your life. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. Everything is true. You got to challenge yourself in your comfort zone in order to give yourself the best chance for success. 100%. I've been in business, y'all, for 10 years, and I am still scared and uncertain and anxious about things all the time. And it's not about pushing so far outside of our comfort zone that we're totally destabilized. But what can we do in tolerable steps, especially if you have killer cold emailing and you actually have a plan? Then you have the steps laid out there, and then you just implement it at the rate that feels good for you. So it's really cool. I think Albert says, I think evolving is logical. What I don't get are writers that don't adapt in some way. I don't know how they survive. To be frank, again, I said I'm going to be blunt here. They aren't surviving in this market. That's why it is so important to evolve. Starting a business will literally shine a spotlight on all those thinking errors for sure. Yes, 100% spot on. All right, let's talk about change number 3 that is happening right now. The freelance writing gold rush continues, but only for writers who evolve. Only for writers who evolve. So important. Holland is saying, is there a marked difference in the actions that result in a gig hamster wheel versus a steady stable of 3 to 5 clients? 100% there is. That is literally what I was talking about when I was saying strugglers versus evolvers. All those bullet points that we went through, and I'll talk about this a little bit more at the end too when I talk about how to adapt for today's market. The whole difference is adaptation. And some of it is the mindset work too, which is why there is a lot of mindset work inside of Killer Cold Emailing sort of woven in throughout the lessons. I kind of sneak that in there, so I'm not just giving you like 10 mindset lessons, but it's woven in there because it's important. So the mindset, having that mindset, being willing to invest in yourself, the client converter website, the budget and demand target clients, all these things are like the puzzle pieces that fit together to give you that steady stream of really high paying clients. And those are the things that you need. So let's talk about the gold rush. I talked about this last year. It is still ongoing. This is what I'm seeing, but only for my evolvers, the writers I am seeing who are evolving. So 2025 was an incredible year for freelance writers who did evolve and marketed themselves correctly in a way that is updated for modern times. AKA using the process inside Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 because it works. And this trend is going to continue into 2026. So take a look at this from the Wall Street Journal recently posted. Companies are desperately seeking storytellers. So what is that? That's a writer. LinkedIn job postings that include the term storyteller have doubled. They have doubled. This is amazing. And I've got some more stats for you down below. So I think this is going to be really exciting. Make sure you stick around and look at these because it's really, really interesting. But the bottom line is freelancing is the future right now. That is why it's exploding, right? We've talked about how traditional jobs, not reliable anymore. Don't want to hitch your wagon to the horse of a traditional job when there's millions and millions of people getting laid off. Please don't put your financial security in the hands of these jobs. I'm saying that as someone who has been fired numerous times from full-time jobs, and it's just like the rug is ripped out from under you, and it's terrible. So I want you to take financial control in 2026 because, like I say here, layoffs are happening for full-time employees. It's not a stable traditional job market, but here is the silver lining. The work still has got to get done, and freelancers/contractors are the obvious choice for these businesses. Again, this is not something random I'm saying. This is from me being in the industry, seeing what's going on right now, and this is what is happening. Companies are pivoting from full-time employees to contractors and freelancers. So let's take a look at this. And by the way, this is happening because freelancers and contractors, even paid at the highest level, are a way more budget-friendly way for companies to get their marketing work done, which is good news for you, right? If you want to do freelancing in 2026. So let's take a look at some stats showing the state of the industry. So 92% of companies expect an increase in the number of engagements with freelancers in the next 24 months. According to Forbes, this is an incredible opportunity. This stat is from, I think, a little over 12 months ago. So we're definitely still in this time frame. Experts predict that by 2027, 86.5 million people in the US will be freelancing, making up over half the total workforce. So when I'm telling you freelancing is the future, it is literally the future. And I don't want you to wait to do this. And I don't want you to go in not knowing how, because doing it versus doing it right are two totally different things. And you really want to get in now so you have the leg up. So you're an early adopter of this, right? Forbes highlighted the shift, noting the gig economy is gaining unprecedented momentum. There is a profound shift toward independent work and hiring freelancers. It's literally the future. That is why you don't want to wait to do this. Make 2026 the year that you make this happen. And then this stat I talked about a little earlier, the copywriting services market is estimated to surge way up to $42 billion, not million, but billion by 2030. So we are at a really unique and important point in time today. And folks who are adapting now are getting ahead of that curve, right? They're seeing this opportunity. They're adapting their business in a way that works in today's market, going up market, meaning going for the clients who have the cash to spend on freelance writers and value the service they offer. That is why you need to prioritize this right now. If you're a beginner or if you're experienced but you haven't evolved yet, or you're not at the income level you want yet, you've got to evolve now to thrive in years to come, right? So we talked about strugglers versus evolvers. The gap is between those two groups right now, and it is only going to get wider. It's only going to get wider. That is why it's so important to get in now, not in 6 months, not in a year, but now while we're in this window of opportunity, because you don't want to look back and regret it and be dealing with all this BS of traditional jobs and be thinking, I wish I would have struck while the iron was hot. So remember, Jorden AI, included with Killer Cold Emailing when you join today, is everything you need to know to evolve, with all the shortcuts, the pre-built writer website, the AI bot that will tell you the niche and target clients for you. It can help you write your cold emails, write your website copy for you. It's all the shortcuts that you need. Another stat, according to this 2026 research, 83% of B2B marketing decision makers expect increased investment over the next year, meaning these companies are preparing to invest more in marketing in 2026. Very cool. 90% of marketers still say writing and editing are the most important skills they need in content teams. So in case you're one of the people who comes to me, I have some people emailing me being like, can I still do this? Like, is it still worth it in 2026? Yes. And only if you've evolved, only if you're doing it right. If you are thinking of, kind of slapping up an old school portfolio page and marketing yourself as an SEO content writer, then it's not going to work for you. It's not going to be worth it. But if you are willing, I'm trying to get this cardigan off because I'm sweating. If you are willing to adapt for today's market and learn how to do this and take it really seriously as a business, 100% it's going to be worth it, because this is the future. Right now is the best time to get started. Or if you've already started, it's the best time to evolve and adapt. So what does marketing done right actually mean in 2026? This is for you, the person, let me see if I can scroll up. The marked difference between gig hamster wheel versus steady stream of high-paying clients. This is the difference right here. So Very important section. It is shifting from pitching clients who have a low budget or low demand to pitching clients who have a high budget and high demand for the specific thing you offer. That's it. A side note on that, it's going to take some mindset work to do that. If you were like me before I started freelance writing and your experience is retail and call centers and getting paid less than $20 an hour, it's going to be a big mindset leap to go from $20 an hour or less to charging $500, $1,000, $2,000 for a project. But I want you to know you can do that, and you don't have to let the limiting beliefs and the sort of patterns of your past define what is possible for you in the future. I'm just so passionate about letting you know that. It is so, so crucial. You got to pitch clients with a high budget and demand for the specific thing you offer, and you got to overcome the resistance that is going to pop up when you go to start doing that. Again, that is why there's so much mindset work woven into killer cold emailing. And having your entire marketing strategy from your niche to your writer website to your cold emails specifically set up to sell that one profitable offer to that one very high paying target client. Because again, when AI is on the scene, when recessions are happening, we go up market and we go for the clients who have the money to spend. That is one important way to evolve. So again, you get this all done for you basically in killer cold emailing, a pre-built writer website, a niche finder AI bot, copy and paste cold emailing templates personally tested by me, as well as follow-up templates, all updated for today's market. You could literally be pitching by next week with these assets because it's going to collapse that time it takes for you to learn how to do this. And I want to actually show you a little preview, not a full preview, but like a screenshot of Jorden AI, aka KCE bot or killer cold emailing bot. It's like having me in your pocket 24/7 to tell you exactly how to niche down profitably and approach every part of your writer website and which clients to pitch and how to cold email. It can even help write your cold emails for you. So it's an incredible tool. It is programmed by me personally. I did this, so it's not something that I just came up with or told somebody else to do. It's by me. It's got my knowledge in here. So this is what it looks like when you open it up. So cool. You can click on one of these things here when you get started, or you can just start talking to it and chatting with it and going, how do I pick a niche? Or is blank niche good in a 2026 market? Instant answers. There has never been a better bonus for this program, literally. And that's, I think, saying a lot because I've had a lot of pretty good bonuses. But this one asset alone is easily worth hundreds. It's honestly worth just the investment of the program. Just this one asset is worth it. So I'm planning to make this a paid upgrade, but before I do that, I really wanted to offer it to you guys so you can enroll down in the link in the description box if you want to go ahead and grab that, because it is a bonus and it is disappearing very, very, very soon. I'm going to give you the proven assets and plan in Killer Cold Emailing 2.0, and all you need to bring into that is not experience, not existing clients, not a website, not niche clarity. All you need to bring into this program is the audacity to act and the willingness to evolve. And then everything else, I've got you. So you're going to be all set and good to go. All right. G says, hello everyone, I'm a beginner and I can't wait to evolve. Very cool. Thanks to Jorden's knowledge for freelance writing evolvers. Awesome. So glad you're here. Whether anyone here is a beginner or you're experienced, but you had a drop off in clients, or you just know that you need a level up, this is for you. So excited you're here. Change number 4. The profitable niche is essential in 2026, and the guidelines have changed. Here are the new niche qualifications for this year. This is the same thing I taught last year because this is the modern market niche qualification. So AI proof, highly specific. We had a question earlier from, I believe, Jim. If I'm getting that wrong, I am so sorry. Please tell me. But I believe it was Jim who was asking, do I niche down by industry or content type? Ideally, both. There are some nuances to that, though. I don't want to give a sweeping generalization, but I guess that's kind of what that is. Generally, you want to do both, right? And then the target clientele has a good size budget and demand for what you do. This is what most people are missing, and this is why I'm continuing to harp on the budget and demand thing. It's so important. And again, Jorden AI can help you figure this out. If you go in a regular chat GPT, it's going to give you like the worst advice ever. I've tried it and I am just floored by the advice that ChatGPT alone gives. But that is why I created Jorden AI, to actually put the good, accurate, up-to-date information in there for you so you don't have to guess and rely on all these untrustworthy resources. You just ask right in Jorden AI. So some good news for my folks who are wanting to evolve, but maybe they're like, ooh, it's really scary going from SEO content to conversion copywriting. Let me know if any of you guys are looking to up level in that way, or what you're thinking about evolving with your niche in a 2026 market. Whether you are pivoting or just starting out, I know it can feel really scary, and it's like, oh my gosh, offering this to clients feels crazy. If that's you in any way, I want you to know this good news, which is that you can earn while you learn. This is actually the process I teach in my program. You earn as you are learning. So you are literally getting paid to learn. You're not spending a bunch of time learning before you start, because what I see happen in those cases is writers will get stuck in the learning and they will use it as a reason to not start pitching and marketing themselves. They'll go, oh, I'm getting stuff done. I'm getting stuff done. End of 2026, you're still in that planning and learning. And the real problem there is, if we're getting really deep, is the fear and resistance and overwhelm that is coming up. But that is why this is so awesome. It fixes that. You earn while you learn by starting with smaller projects. If you want, you don't have to. But again, with a lot of my beginners and people who are making scary pivots, we don't want to just throw them in the deep end, right? We want to kind of incrementally increase what they're doing and their knowledge and their rates as a result. So you can start where you are now. You raise your rates as your niche knowledge grows, and when you're a niche expert or more confident, or just whenever you're ready to charge more and you have your marketing stepped up to that point, then that's when you get to that 8, 10K a month and beyond. So what you need now with your niche is a niche that's relevant to today's market, a client who has the budget and demand for that niche. And do not miss this step. You've got to position that niche to that one target client appropriately on your writer website, in your cold emails, LinkedIn, wherever you are online. That is it. We've talked about differentiation, evolution for a modern market. This is how you do it. So with your niche, of course, you can use Jorden AI now, but I also have this really cool tool in Killer Cold Emailing 2.0, a separate niche finder AI bot. So everything you need that speeds it right up, where the bot can instantly validate your niche for you. It's going to tell you the best target clients, and it will set your rates for you and tell you how much to charge. So very cool and important, because in 2026, this is highlighted in this bright green because it's super important. You cannot just use guesswork and try it out. It's so important because the market is shifted, and there is such a big difference between doing it versus doing it right. Okay, a big difference between doing it versus doing it right. So an example of this might be, let's say you want to learn how to play guitar, right? You can just kind of screw around on your guitar, go buy a guitar, just kind of mess around with it, a few times a week for a year, and maybe you get like 10% better by the end of the year. You still don't know chords, you don't know a song. It's just kind of something you're trying out, right? That's doing it. Doing it right, though. Imagine how much more progress you could have made in that year. You could be like a pro level guitar player if you hired a guitar coach, took a course on how to play guitar, did it right. So you guys see what I mean here? There's doing freelance writing in that same way, just trying stuff out, not really knowing if you're doing it right, different things like that, versus actually doing it right. And that is how we get the awesome results, not by doing it and thinking, oh, I don't know, am I doing this right? But collapsing that time that it takes to get from where we are now to where we want to be by getting a proven process to do it right, which is what we do, of course, in Killer Cold Emailing. So your niche is truly the foundation of your marketing strategy. And in 2026, it's never been more important to not just choose one or get it done, but to get it done right. Very, very important. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat here. Russell says, I picked up KCE in the past, so I have access to that as I build my business. I'm also in the aligned path. Yes, I recognize you from the community. Do I need KCE 2.0? Russell, if you can, look in your Teachable account, and it should say Killer Cold Emailing -LTO. And if you have that, then you have Killer Cold Emailing 2.0. And you'll see, you can like Control F and look for Client Converter website inside the course, and that's how you'll know that you have it. But we're getting Jorden AI added for all existing students. It's just taking a little bit of time to roll out. But anyone who joins now, it's going to be instantly added just because that automation is set up. It's a lot of techie stuff going on the back end, but yes. And thank you for being here, Russell, by the way. Very cool to see an Aligned Path member here. I love that. Albert says, that's a good point, making the leap from lower wage jobs to setting prices as a freelancer. I never thought about that when I was freelancing. Yeah, it's a big mental leap. And I know for me, that's why it took me so long, man. If I was starting over, if I was starting from scratch today, I would just be, I truly think I would be making 6 figures my first year freelancing, because again, I would be able to collapse the time that it took knowing what I know now, right? It's such a big difference. It's so important. Do clients tend to pay upfront, or is there a traditional net 30, net 60, etc.? So it depends. What I recommend is setting your own kind of rules or whatever in your scope of work when you start working with a client. So you can have things due on receipt, net 15. I used to do a lot of net 15 with big corporate clients. Sometimes they have standard processes where it'll be net 30 or net 60, but typically I recommend due on receipt or 15 days, and then you can add a late fee if you want and all that stuff. But that's not something you really need to worry about if you're getting started out. It's really important to just start getting those clients and have that mindset of like, I can figure out anything as I go. I can figure out anything as I go. So it's a really big mindset shift, and it will help so much. Albert says, all I can say is I never thought much about this when I went from minimum wage, playing oldies rock music at a radio station. That sounds like a cool job. To becoming a freelance journalist and writer. I just wanted more than $5 per hour. Yes, man, $5 per hour. I can't even imagine. Not today. Not in 2026, right? But thanks for sharing that. Really interesting. So let's talk about the next change, which is change number 5, the Client Converter website. I'm going to explain what this is and how it's different. Is taking the place of the generic writing portfolio. So we're talking about, again, strugglers versus evolvers, people who are, just doing $5 gig work versus I'm getting amazing clients and I'm making an amazing living doing this. This is a key separator as well. So we had, who said it? Resonance8941 said it. Differentiation, time to differentiate. How do we do that in today's market? You stand out in a sea of cheap writers in AI by not competing with them at all, which some of that is your niche, positioning, the target client, having the budget and demand for what you do, everything we talked about. But one of the biggest pieces of your differentiation in your marketing is having a client converter website. This is actually my own proprietary strategy that I've created, tested, and tweaked, and it's proven to work in today's market. I actually pivoted the Killer Cold Emailing program in the post-AI sort of recession, economic BS going on era to include this because it is what's working pretty much. So a generic portfolio is not cutting it in a modern market, meaning, just those basic websites where it's like a picture of someone, maybe some paragraphs about them and some writing samples. It's not cutting it because, again, remember, we're going up market. We are going after higher paying clients in today's market. A little side note, you don't have to do that on your first day, right? If you're uncomfortable with that, if you have too much resistance and it's totally shutting you down into fear and overwhelm, don't do it. Just start with a small client, right? It's better to start break some of the rules, the right ones to break within reason, getting started, and just go for smaller clients to get a little bit of confidence going. And then you can either take a big leap of an increase or you can incrementally increase. But I just want to name that because I know a lot of folks come into this with a lot of fear. I certainly had a lot of fear when I started out because, again, I was coming from being severely underpaid and didn't know that this was so valuable. So just a little side rant there. But basically, this portfolio, this old school stuff is not cutting it right now because we're going for those high paying clients who want to see, they need to see that differentiation. And most importantly, they need to know that you are a business owner. You're not a gig worker. You're not a freelancer. This is why you're automatically at a disadvantage if you're on sites like Upwork, Fiverr, things like that. Because when a client sees you on that, it's instantly in their brain signaled that you're an order taker. You're not a business owner. You're just an order taker. Just do the work. I'll pay you $20, whatever. We don't want that, right? We don't want that in 2026 because I need more than $20 in 2026, and I know you guys do too. And this is how you do it. You get your positioning done right with a client converter website. So what this means is your website is specifically and strategically built for one reason and one reason alone: to convert the one profitable target client you're cold emailing. That's it. That's the whole purpose of your website. It's not to show all the different writing styles you do. It's not to have a lot of paragraphs about you and things like that. Again, I know I'm being so blunt here, but I just want you guys to have the best information. It's for none of that stuff. It is to convert the client you're cold emailing. That's it. Side note, every single client you cold email will click over to your website and they're going to use that to determine whether or not you're trustworthy, you're a business owner, and you're worth working with. So if you're not linking your client converter website and your cold emails, it's going to be a struggle. Let's talk about this a little bit more. So before here on the left, some things that maybe worked years and years ago, never really worked well, but you could get away with them, right? A low converting website you kind of threw together, no writer website, just an assortment of random samples on Medium or somewhere online. When you do this today, the clients that you want to go after are not taking you seriously. So you're going to be those gig workers competing with AI and hundreds of other $5 and $10 and $20 writers because you don't have a business. You're being seen as an order taker, not a business owner, right? So we shift into the client converter website, which looks kind of like the combination of like kind of an agency homepage website that has really good copy on it or a landing page. It's really built to sell. That's it. It proves to clients you're worth working with, and it does the selling on your behalf. It is a huge part of being AI proof and saturation proof and recession proof. Okay, so this is how you stand out big time. This is how you can literally 10 times the conversion rates of your cold emails. Now, of course, it's not just that one thing, right? Our cold emails, our niche, our target clientele, our portfolio pieces, our website, all these things have got to be not just done, but done right for this strategy to work. Because it's like puzzle pieces. Each one of these things is one puzzle piece. And if you're missing a puzzle piece, the whole strategy is incomplete, right? So it's not going to get results. Just want to name that in case you're like, I think I have this, but it's not working. Something is missing. So we got to stand out. A basic website is not cutting it. Again, I'm being redundant because it's important. Your site has got to be strategically structured to convert the clients you cold email. That is it. It's more like a landing or sales page than a website. So how does this work? The sales psychology is behind it. And then you get a proven template if you join Killer Cold Emailing 2.0. Again, it's literally like you click it and it can populate in Wix. It takes you less than 5 minutes generally for people to just launch the website. It's fully designed and you get a copy template. So very, very cool. And you can see here a couple student testimonials. Tara, who says she built her site. I'm having to lean forward because I swear with age, my eyesight has recently gone way downhill. But she says, since I've built this site, I've gotten consistent requests for work from it, and I still do. One client even paid me $1,200 for a blog post. Sarah says, just updating my website this way helped me win a new client. He was sold by my website. So super effective, very cool. And again, it's already pre-built for you inside Killer Cold Emailing 2.0. You just drop in the website template. Again, that might take 5 minutes to do. Fill in the blanks in the copy template, or if you get the Jorden AI bonus, have that write your copy for you. And your website can go live in as little as an hour or less. So you get it launched, maybe 5-ish minutes, fill in the copy template. Some of you, it might take 30 minutes to do this whole thing. Some of you, it might take a few hours. Either way is so much better than guesswork and not knowing if you're doing it right, or spending weeks being frustrated about tech stuff, right? You're going to know it's done right, and it's going to be really quick to do. So again, remember, this is a very short enrollment period. It ends Monday. I know I'm being so repetitive with this, but I just know every time I do something like this and I close the doors, people email me after the doors close and go, can I still get in? And I want you to know that it ends Monday. So if you want to get $100 off Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 and Jorden AI included with your enrollment, you can go enroll now. The link, I'll put it in the comments for those of you who are watching the replay, and then it's also in the description box for those of you who are live here with me now. Change number 6. So this is just a bonus tip, throwing it in here for you. Cold emailing is still king, but it has evolved, so you've got to do it right. So a lot of us who are been in this game know that marketing methods that used to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago are now outdated, not working at all. Facebook groups, totally swamped. Upwork, terrible pay. 50 to 100 cheaper writers you're competing with. If you know, you know. LinkedIn DMs and comments, oversaturated, not good. Fiverr, would never do that. Terrible pay. They take too much from you, and it's just ridiculous. What is working based on my own experience and what I'm seeing with my students is cold emailing. And by the way, we're almost to the Q&A. So if you guys have questions about the course or enrolling or changes happening in 2026, anything we've covered here, this is a great time to pop them in the chat, and we'll get to those shortly. But let's talk about cold emailing a little bit, because whether you're a beginner with 0 experience or you have some experience but you haven't fully evolved yet, so you aren't getting the high-paying clients and income you want, cold emailing is the best way to scale and get the financial freedom you want in 2026. Got a typo there. It should say 2026. But here's why. With cold emailing, you're not competing against 100 cheaper writers in some LinkedIn comment thread. You're not submitting an Upwork proposal to a client who already has 20 to 50 or 50 to 100 other proposals. Instead, you're directly pitching your service to that one target client who has the budget and demand for what you do. You're linking out to your client converter website so that your cold email actually converts them. You're not competing at all, at least when you do it the way that I teach inside the program, right? Because that's the thing. We've talked about doing it versus doing it right. And that's kind of what this comes down to. You got to do it the right way. The 2015 way, not working anymore. The 2023 way even. We've changed since then. Got to do it the way that is working today, which is exactly what you will learn how to do inside my Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 program. So, very important, if you're just trying out cold emailing without an evolved strategy, you're going to get disappointing results. I really want to make that clear. That is the difference between the strugglers versus the evolvers. It's that willingness to evolve and not just do it, but do it right. And remember, you get my cold emailing templates when you join. You get all the pre-built resources. You can click over to the sales page to see everything you get. It's a very long sales page, but it has all the info you need and so many testimonials that have real results. So $ in X amount of time, not just, oh, I loved this course, like real tangible results. So I would encourage you to click over and scroll through those. And now with Jorden AI, you can get help writing your cold emails for you. Imagine how much time you will save. So I envision you using Jorden AI like this. You can pop the templates in there, give it your client information and your niche, and just say, write the cold email based on this template. Copy, paste, it's even easier. The cold emailing templates, honestly, are already super easy to use because they're already copy and paste. But if you just want AI to assist you in this process, you can do it if you get Jorden AI included, which you will if you join today. So this is kind of what the template looks like. Over here on the left, it's kind of blurred. It's a copy and paste template, and then you actually get the sales psychology breakdown because you need to learn how to sell if you're doing this, right? So it's copy and paste, and this template is so effective. I've had so many students, many of whom came to this as a beginner, tell me they got a client with their first ever cold email. Amazing, right? Now, of course, I can't guarantee that. I can't promise you that. Nobody can guarantee you any specific result, of course. But I will say, this is a very, very effective. So Sierra here says, within 48 hours of starting the Killer Cold Emailing course, I sent out my cold email and I heard back with a contract offer for $1,400 before the week was over. Very cool. Love seeing these kinds of results. And she got this contract in the mental health niche, by the way. So not a typical businessy niche or anything like that. Very, very cool. Russell says, thanks, I have the LTO, so I'm all good. That is awesome. We will get Jorden AI added and rolled out for everyone soon. So thank you, Russell, and I hope you're enjoying Killer Cold Emailing and the Aligned Path. Very excited to have you in both. Albert says, order taker. Great phrase. I got to use that. Absolutely. And I hope you guys know when I say that kind of thing, I definitely am not trying to say it in a demeaning, rude way. I'm trying to get you to understand how clients are seeing you, right? It doesn't mean anything about you, of course, as a person. It's just your positioning affects how clients see you. Just sales psychology, right? I want to kind of neutralize that term a little bit. Jim says, does a client converter website have one page or do you have multiple pages? So inside of the course, when you open up the client converter website, you'll see it has 5 specific strategic pages, and that's all you need when you start out. So it's not a one pager, but it's not like a whole lot of pages or anything like that. So very effective. Holland said, how do you feel about cold calling? I recommend cold emailing because it's easier to track, and a really big thing here is clients who have the budget and demand for what you do are typically not going to be the kinds of clients who are going to answer the phone and sit on a cold call with someone. From what I've seen with my experience and students who have told me they've tried it and gotten better results with cold emailing, that is what I've seen. So I recommend cold emailing in an evolved way, of course, just in case I haven't said that enough. I know I've said it so many times. So speaking of, let me grab another drink first. I think it's like 40 degrees outside, but it feels like it's 100 degrees in my house. So maybe I should go check on that in a minute. But we're almost done here. Let's talk about how to evolve, and we will get to the Q&A after that. So you know what's changed. You know you got to evolve, but what exactly do you do to evolve? I'll tell you exactly what to do now. We got the steps down here based on my own experience evolving, the experience of my students, and what I'm seeing colleagues do in this industry right now. Here's what it looks like in 3 simple steps. 1, focus on a profitable AI-proof specific niche. Again, picking a niche you want to work in and positioning yourself as the go-to writer for that one profitable client. And again, it's going to require often a mindset shift, whether you're a beginner coming in new to a niche or you're like, I'm not getting paid what I want in my current niche, so I think I need to pivot to something more profitable. You're going to have to do it even though it's uncomfortable. It's part of being a business owner. This is the difference between being frozen and stuck in planning mode. How many of us experience this? I've definitely been there. You can get just frozen in fear and overwhelm if you allow that to happen, versus having the audacity to act and trusting yourself to figure it out as you go and knowing that you will screw up at some point. Oh my goodness. Again, I've been doing this for 10 years. I feel afraid all the time. I mess up. I make mistakes all the time. It just happens. And we've got to go, that doesn't mean anything about me as a person. It's neutral data. That's what I like to tell my students. See your results as neutral data and have the audacity to act and figure it out, because we get this one life and this amazing opportunities to do the things we want to do. And we got to have the audacity to go for it, because you can literally go into a brand new niche with zero prior knowledge. I have done this myself, and I want you to know your lack of knowledge, it's another limiting belief here, is not holding you back. Fear and maybe some limiting beliefs based on your previous career experiences or stories you were told from teachers or parents or whoever, those are really the things that hold us back when it comes down to it, right? But it doesn't have to, because remember, we're using an earn as you learn process here. So you can start where you are now, and if you're more comfortable with going for smaller clients for like your first 1 or 2 projects, absolutely do that. I'm not here to push you into doing more than you're comfortable with to the point where you won't do anything because you're so overwhelmed with fear that you shut down. You can earn while you learn if you want and get started, and then grow a little bit and grow a little bit more. Some of my students do that. Other students that I have come in and they just go, screw it. I'm ready to do this. I'm going to learn what I need to learn now, and I'm going to start pitching myself for 4-figure projects out the gate. And they do very well. So it's really just whatever you are able to do resistance-wise, right? But I want to show you an example of how this works, the earn as you learn process, and how your income scales along with it. Again, I'm going to have to lean up a little bit here to read this, but Emma is a student, and you can see the top one here, a little more to the left. She says, I got offered a 4-figure, $4K per month project without even mentioning a figure, and closed another client for $640 for 2 blog posts. So amazing, right? Just kind of at that intermediate level. Love to see it. And then look at this other one here. This is really exciting, and the trajectory I often see with my students. She says, I joined Killer Cold Emailing just over a year ago, and today I'm going to have my first 5-figure month. 10K plus month. Incredible. A year from now. You guys could be doing this just 1 year from now. A year from now, 5-figure months. It's so possible for you. It is so possible for you when you evolve and adapt to today's market and when you do your marketing the right way. So that is the niche piece. The second step is using a client converter website to convert the clients you pitch and cold email. Did you know? I didn't know this when I started out, so you may not. Every single client you cold email is going to click over to your writer website, and they're going to use that to determine whether or not they trust you enough to work with you. Here's a little graphic I threw together in Canva to explain how this works, right? The client opens up your cold email and they're interested in hiring a writer. So they're like, cool, I'm interested. But there's nothing for them to check out in that email. There's no link for them to click. You don't have a client conversion website linked in your email. So the client is going to perceive you as unprofessional. The interesting part about this is it does not matter how much experience you have. A writer with 10 years of experience will make this mistake and they will get no clients. And a writer with 10 weeks of experience will do this right and they will get a ton of clients. It's all about the client's perception of you, which you control with your marketing. The client converter website, that's why it's so important. It's 100% essential part of your marketing ecosystem in 2026. So it is not enough to just have a good niche or just the website or do guesswork. Again, it's going to come down to doing it versus doing it right. Are you struggling because you haven't evolved and adapted and you aren't taking this seriously as a business owner? Or are you an evolver who is going to adapt and make these updates and changes? So very key, because your client converter website signals to clients that you've evolved and that you're up to date for a 2026 market. And the bad and good news, I guess, is 95% of writers are not doing this. The bad part of that is I really wish they were, because then they would be getting clients. But the good part of it for you is you are instantly differentiated if you do create a client converter website. You're instantly standing out. So it's critical for that differentiation piece that we need in today's market. And then step 3, cold email the right way. So just cold emailing is very different from cold emailing the right way. I have helped thousands of writers. I think there's over 3,000 writers in killer cold emailing alone, and tested and tweaked my cold emailing and marketing strategy for over 10 years. And I can tell you, if cold emailing hasn't worked for you before, it's because there is a problem with one of these pieces: your niche, your target clientele, your writer website, or the cold email itself. Because again, these things don't exist each one in a vacuum. They all work together like a puzzle. And if just one piece is missing or one piece is broken, meaning it's not done right, you're not going to get the conversions that you want. It's so important. It's critical in 2026 to have all of it done right. So I want to share this story with you because it's really cool. Crystal, one of my students, came to me going, I don't know, I have doubts. Basically, this was kind of her mindset coming in because she had already tried cold emailing before as a freelance writer, and she said her results were really disappointing, like one cold email response a week, if that, and they usually just said they weren't interested. But when she switched to my method, killer cold emailing, she started getting 6 to 8 client responses a week, with about half of those wanting to hire her. Amazing. That again is the perfect example of doing something and trying it out versus doing it right with a proven step-by-step plan that is going to collapse the time that it takes for you to get from point A to point B where you want to be over here. So she says, I was able to attract and write for 3 high-paying clients, all over $1,200 for each project. So that is, I think I can do that math, $3,600 total. Amazing. The second week since enrolling in the course, the second week, $3,600. Doesn't get much better than that, right? Very cool. Again, just cold emailing, trying it out, not going to be very effective, especially in today's market, right? Especially cold emailing the right way. That is how you get results, not just doing it, but doing it right. And it's really hard. Maybe you guys feel this. I definitely felt this starting out. It's really hard to figure all this out on your own. Doing every piece of this puzzle correctly on your own can just feel crazy because there's all this conflicting advice online. Do I do this? Do I do that? And your puzzle's going to be either missing a piece or it's going to be all broken and weird looking, meaning you're not going to be able to get clients. So think about it like this. What if I, Jorden, personally handed you the proven templates and shortcuts for each step? And imagine having the Jorden AI, aka KCE bot tool, to figure it all out for you and answer all your questions in seconds. What a game changer that would be, right? Because you would know your marketing wasn't just done, but done right. You would eliminate time spent researching and just feeling frustrated at all this conflicting advice. And you could finally grow your writing income to 5 to 8K a month and beyond a lot faster with the proven shortcuts, right? Because it's that plan that we have that makes it so much faster and easier to get where we want to go. And that is exactly what you will get inside of the wonderful Killer Cold Emailing 2.0, which I know you guys know about by now. But I just want to remind you what's in it because it is just the thing that is going to make it so much quicker and easier for you to get these steps done because I'm giving you the shortcuts. I'm basically doing the work for you by giving you a pre-built client converter website. So it's a template you can drop in the zip file and you're launched. A niche finder AI bot to pick your best niche and tell you which are the best, most profitable target clients to cold email. Copy and paste cold email templates that I've tested for 8+ years, actually 10+ years at this point. I need to update that. It kind of does the work for you, right? And new is Jorden AI, the best bonus I've ever offered. I plan to make this a paid add-on in the future. So definitely enroll now if you want to get this included because it is disappearing like that. It's going to be a blink and you miss it thing. This ends Monday, so don't wait. I know a lot of folks will be like, oh my gosh, the weekend and time got away from me and all this stuff. Please don't miss this because I have no idea when I will open it up again. And you will get Jorden AI when you join now. It is going to give you that instant advice and guidance. It's kind of like having me as a coach in your pocket 24/7 about anything inside of Killer Cold Emailing. So it is very, very cool. You of course get In addition to that, all of the lessons and all the resources and workbooks and everything else. So I haven't even talked about that. I'm just talking about the pre-built stuff, but you get all the lessons from me that are really, really insightful and updated for today's market. So with this kind of boom happening in freelance writing right now, it's so important to get your marketing done right now, right? That's how you're going to have this head start into this world where freelancing is the future. You're going to be already established by the time that happens, instead of staying stuck in that uncertainty of stressful full-time jobs where we all know these terrible layoffs are happening. Or maybe if you're stuck writing on Upwork or low-paying clients, things like that. Side note, I know we've already talked about this, but please don't put your future and security in the hands of a single employer who could drop you at any time. Please, again, whether you decide to do this or not, whatever, just please don't do that. I want so much better for you than that, so just want to name that. And then I want you to just kind of think about, why do you want to start freelance writing? Like, what would it mean to you if, like my student Emma, by a year from now, let's say you join Killer Cold Emailing today. So she said a year after she joined, she was making 5-figure months. So imagine what would change about your life if that were the case for you, right? If you had the audacity to act and evolve and you got that plan to help you. Maybe for you, you would be most excited about things like financial stability and freedom, having that control over your schedule. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite things. I woke up at 11 a.m. the other day and I was just like, thank God for that, because I do not like those morning alarms. Ditching the day job and micromanaging bosses. Anyone who is like me and has worked at a lot of retail and call centers know all about how stressful that can be. Time for your passions, traveling the world. If you're like me, you're writing a novel, doing projects you're excited about, being able to take time off when life happens. Another crucial one, right? Mental health days, family emergencies. I have never been more grateful to be self-employed than those times right there. So important. And more time and memories with loved ones. I really want to express that these are not just concepts and far off dreams for you. These are real life outcomes that I've seen my students have who might have the same concerns that you might be feeling right now, which are totally understandable and very likely super common, right? Like William here, who says he became swamped with work and started writing full time, a major breakthrough after 7 years of trying. This is a Killer Cold Emailing success story, right? So it goes back to, it doesn't matter how long you've been trying or how much experience you have. He had 7 years of trying it out, right? There's trying something out and there's really going in with a strategy and doing it versus doing it right. He switched to doing it right and got swamped with work after joining this program. Stephanie here, I love her story. Oh my gosh, I think I just saw a post from her on LinkedIn earlier today or yesterday. She's absolutely crushing it. And she started out in Killer Cold Emailing. You may have seen her on LinkedIn too if you follow the freelance writing world there. And she made $15,000 freelance writing in just 4 months. Amy here is a booktuber. I love her story. She has crushed it with her business. She says, I work 25 to 30 hours per week and I've never been happier. So a full-time income writing part-time that has allowed her to start a booktube channel and do all these passion projects. And something I love about this that made me laugh, she said, I learned more from your course about launching a business than I did from my actual business degree. And there it is. So she said it, not me, but it is a very, very practical step-by-step program. And again, I've been running it for 10 years. It's fully updated. And I also want to let you guys know, although I do work with a lot of beginners, I also work with writers who have experience but need better, higher paying clients. So the new group that has been coming to me and finding me in the last couple of years is these people who have experience but need to adapt and pivot, like my student Mike, who landed a $2,500 client after I worked with him on evolving his marketing for 2025. So that is why the best time to create the freelance writing income you want is right now. Right now, while this opportunity is really hot And remember, I've already built your marketing assets for you in Killer Cold Emailing 2.0. You can join now with the coupon code New Year at checkout to save $100 on the price. Super special offer. And you're going to get Jorden AI included with your enrollment as well. So it's going to be just the best offer. It's literally the best offer I've ever created for this. It's a brand new tool. So I'm really, really excited to share it with you guys and just see you guys get those fast results. So this is ending Monday, but again, I wouldn't wait because the weekend is going to come and go. And I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, the weekend happened and it slipped my mind. So keep that in mind. You can use this coupon code with Pay in Full and also with the payment plan if you want to do Klarna, can say that, Klarna or Afterpay. So use the coupon code, check it out. The link is down in the description box, and I cannot wait to see you inside of the program. So let's do a little Q&A. What questions do you guys have about the course or enrollment or anything we have covered here today? Definitely pop in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, you can comment and let me know. Let me look here and see what we got going on. Desiree says, I planned to watch this, but a nap was winning. Go take your nap. We need a nap. It's New Year's. Sometimes we just got to take the nap. I totally understand you. Holland says, in addition to the website, do we have to have a LinkedIn or any other social media profile? You absolutely do not. You do not need one. That is something that makes me really happy because I'm just not a big social media person. I don't know about you guys, but I would rather get clients sending emails in my PJs than like doing a dance or like pointing at words on the screen on like TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. I can't do that. My soul would just shrivel up into a raisin, I think, if I had to do that every day. So no shade to anyone who does enjoy that, but I'm just the more introverted type of person, so it doesn't work for me personally. You can have LinkedIn though, if you want to do that. Definitely. You can just put your niche on your LinkedIn profile and kind of set it up similar to the copy you would put on your writer website, but it's totally optional. Any more questions? I'm going to refresh here, but any more questions last minute, pop them in below now. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Jim is saying, just to reiterate, the website templates in KCE and Jorden AI are compatible with WordPress. So the template that is a one-click install, Jim, is a Wix template. So if you want to get that one-click install where it's like literally that, you drop in the zip file or you click it and it populates, you will have to use Wix. But what you will do instead if you want to use WordPress is you will simply look at the images that I've also included of the template inside the program, and then you will just reference that while you're building your site out. Sort of like if you pulled up an image online and then you were like sitting at your desk painting that image, right? You're just using it as a reference. So hopefully that makes sense and clears that up. But yeah, Jorden AI doesn't really have anything to do with like the website itself, right? It's a coaching tool. So it can definitely write your website copy for you. You would just need to feed it the template, feed it your kind of niche information, your name, things like that, and work with it to build the website copy out. So of course I don't want anyone to just like totally outsource any and every part of their business to AI, of course, but this is a very, very, very helpful tool. I mean, it's really cool. I've had people beta testing it for a bit now and they're just like, this is good. This is really cool. So I'm excited. Okay, do you use an EMS like ConvertKit to deliver and monitor your cold emails? So no, we keep this really, really simple in Killer Cold Emailing. We're not doing all this high-tech crazy stuff. You can do that later if you want to evolve into that. We are just using your simple email address, email account, sending cold emails from that. And there are some optional tools you can use to get leads and things like that are paid. But there's also a lot of free ways to get leads inside of the course. So different options. There's like really a path for everyone. So that is one thing that I get a lot of feedback actually in the course. Like I love that it told me exactly what to do, but it didn't box me into only one option, if that makes sense. So hopefully that helps. Okay, Jim is also saying, Lastly, I recognize I do need to evolve and use and trust templates more. Thanks for driving that home for me. Absolutely. I'm here to help. I just want you guys to know, again, I know I've been very blunt and like, this is what it is today, but it's really, really important. And I want you guys to know what is happening behind the scenes in this industry. Super important. Resonance says AIO is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And here's the thing. For my writers who are offering blog post services, you could literally learn AIO in like a day or a weekend. You could slap that up at the top of your writer website and you are suddenly offering a hugely in-demand service for clients, if you pick the right clientele, who really, really want that. And the really cool part is nobody's doing this. Almost nobody has evolved in this way. So if you do evolve, you're going to be an early adopter and you're really going to stand out because as you've said, AIO is a huge, huge deal. Okay, then Michael's got the link in the chat. Shout out to Michael. He works with me, in case I don't think I said that at the start, but it's not just a random person. He works with me, so that is actually the link to join the program. Albert says, by the way, guys, I'll probably take a few more questions. So if you have any last minute ones, this is the last time to pop them in. Albert says, you mentioned that AI slop may be dead. However, I am rather skeptical. AI slop is the one reason I haven't written a book at this point. I don't want AI books siphoning off funds for royalties. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I think books are kind of like in a different realm as far as what I'm speaking about here with freelancing, but I totally know what you mean. I'm still writing a novel just because I'm like, I have to, and I'm just like so grateful that being self-employed affords me the time to do that. So yeah, I think it's cool. It's always just kind of like a personal decision. All right, I am thinking that is all the questions for today. So I am probably going to go have a very late lunch here in a second, but I just want to say thanks for being here. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, whether you showed up live or you're watching the replay or even you're just skimming the replay or whatever. I hope this helped you. I hope this was eye-opening for you and helped you understand what it takes to build a profitable writing business in a 2026 market. These changes are so crucial. They're not optional anymore, right? They're crucial to make. So again, you can join Killer Cold Emailing 2.0 right now with the coupon code New Year today to save $100 on the price and get Jorden AI included with your enrollment. You get instant access to Killer Cold Emailing 2.0. You get instant access to Jorden AI, aka Killer Cold Emailing Bot. So you could be chatting with bot version of me in like a minute or two from now if you join the program. So this is ending very soon. I'm going to say it one more time because I always have people message me after the enrollment. It's ending soon. Don't let Friday and the weekend and all that get away from you and be like, oh my gosh, I missed out. I forgot. Because I'm planning for Jorden AI to be a paid upgrade only in the future. So this is your chance to get this hugely valuable resource as a bonus included and to save $100 on the investment when you enroll today. And that applies to the pay in full option, or if you want to do a Klarna or Afterpay payment plan, it applies there as well. So I cannot wait to see you inside the program. We've had a couple people join since I started the stream, so very exciting. I am so honored to be your guide on this journey, and please do reach out when you start getting these clients and results and you start seeing the changes that result from evolving and adapting, because I want to hear about it. I always want to hear your success story and support you on this journey. Jess says, thanks for doing this. You're so welcome. Albert says thank you. Joey says thank you and Happy New Year. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you all as well. And I hope you all make everything you want to happen for yourself happen in 2026. Just know that the limiting beliefs are going to be there. The fear and resistance, it's all going to be there. But it's so important that we take steps toward the life we want. Anyway, I'll be cheering you on and rooting for you. Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.